I don't like goodbyes. Tonight, I walk the deck alone. May 26. Starting tonight, the time I would have spent with Messiah will be spent in prayer and study. I need the blessings. I also still need to make a choice. I cannot believe what I have been reading. From the first word, I was captivated, entranced. These are Lee's private thoughts, his thoughts about me. What I am glimpsing now in his words gives new depth to his emails, and they only serve to make me love him even more, if such a thing is possible. It is like I can suddenly read between the lines, see the things he doesn't say. It makes me wish I had copies of his email with me now. I know I need to sleep. I even feel the stirrings of a headache coming on, but I feel compelled to keep reading. The next year, May 15th. My heart is full again because Masai came back with her family. I thought I remembered how beautiful she was. I was mistaken. We embraced, and all the memories of last year rushed back. They are the only guest I have ever felt familiar enough with to hug. Because they are family to me, I truly realize that now. Tonight I was late getting done, and we only had a couple of minutes to speak, so we said nothing, but her beautiful, serene smile said much. May 16th. I was able to go ashore for an hour today. Half that hour was spent sitting on a bench visiting with Masai, while Anna and Chad looked at watches in a jewelry store. Sitting in the sun with her was a decadent experience, one that will stay with me forever. We did not talk about anything special, and there was nothing new to share. It was her nearness. A full 30 minutes of just being with her was everything. I kept an adequate amount of space between us, just in case another crew member passed and saw us talking. We could not look too familiar. Tonight we spoke of the gospel and the miracle of the atonement, and I silently admitted what my heart has known all along. I love her. So much it hurts, but I cannot have her because I still haven't chosen. May 17th. Holding so much inside is making my heart ache. Still, it is a beautiful heartache, and I would never wish it away. I couldn't because I would rather have the pain and feel the accompanying ecstasy of having her in my life than feel nothing. May 18th. Tonight when we met, I gave her a card to open on her birthday. I hate that I will miss it, and I wish I could really celebrate it with her. We hugged and said goodbye. I wish I did not have to be away from her. I wish for so many things. May 19th. I am in desperate need of the sacrament. I am in desperate need of her. The next year, May 22nd. She is here, and I feel alive again. I have never seen a pair of eyes more beautiful than Masai's when she looks at me. When she came to dinner, it was hard to conceal the longing I feel for her, the love, and when we met later tonight, it was even more difficult. Father in heaven, I don't know what to do anymore. May 23rd. One of the newer male crew members was caught this morning exiting a guest room. He will lose his job. Because of this, I did not meet Masai tonight. I slipped her a note during dinner. I hope she understands. May 24th. I visited with Masai and her family during dinner, but I did not meet her again tonight. I really miss her, even though she is here. How can I miss her so much? May 25th. Dinner and brief glimpses are not enough. They will never be enough. I die a little more inside each time I have to say goodbye, and I wonder which goodbye will finally be the last. There is never a guarantee that there will be a next time. I need to remember that. This year, May 19th, Masai is here. I am happy, but I am in agony because I sense a change in her, a change I am responsible for. I have to do something. May 20th. Today was her birthday, and we sang to her at dinner. Then a male guest stopped by to talk with her. It was the first time I have ever experienced burning jealousy. I don't like that feeling. Tonight, I'm giving her a gift. I'm giving her a part of me, my heart. By the time I finished reading, I am exhausted, but I also noticed something. Record the things that matter. His only entries are when I have been here. I am the thing that matters, me and God. After all this time, to finally know that I am not alone in my feelings leaves me without words. After the slow build-up, the pain between my eyes has turned into a full-blown migraine that has become excruciating. Making my way to the vanity, I search the toiletry bag for the pain and nausea meds, grateful that I remembered to bring them. I take a pill from each bottle and get into bed, immediately shutting off the light because light makes the pain worse. That and reading with a headache. As I have always done, I try to breathe deeply and count in my head for as long as it takes until the meds finally kick in and I drift off. Lee. Lee has been anxious all day, and tonight, as he watches Anna and Chad move through the dining room and approach their table, his heart drops. Masai is not with them. He draws forth a smile. "Hello, how are you this evening?" "We're fine," Anna says, her voice lacking its usual enthusiasm. "Where's Masai?" "Just you two tonight?" "I'm afraid so," Chad answers. "Masai has been all day, in bed all day with a migraine." "Because of my journal." "I hope she will be all right," he says, doing his best to ignore Chad's arched brow, knowing he isn't doing too good a job of keeping his feelings hidden. His attempt at schooling his features isn't working well tonight. "She will," Anna says. "She used to have them all the time, but getting more sleep regularly helped. She hasn't been sleeping well the past few nights, which triggered it again. I'm sure she will be better tomorrow." "She hasn't been getting enough sleep because of me." Disguising a heavy heart, Lee serves them and takes care of all his guests. Worry for Masai consumes his thoughts the entire shift, but somehow he makes it through. When he finally makes it to his cabin, Lee drops to his knees by the bed, praying harder than he ever has before. His prayer is twofold, and he is determined to stay on his knees no matter how long it takes. A long while later, he finally goes to bed, his thoughts consumed with the answer the Spirit had whispered with a clarity that cannot be ignored. I sleep in. When I wake to a knock at the door, there is only a dull throbbing in my head. I get up and answer it, knowing it is Anna, checking up on me. "Are you okay?" she asks, worry etching her lovely features. I hate worrying her. "Chad can give you a blessing if you need him to." "I'm better this morning. I'm going to shower and grab something to eat, maybe lounge in one of the darker areas on the ship so the cabin guy can clean my room." "Okay, we've eaten already, but I can come up with you if you want." "No, you and Chad, go do whatever you plan to. I'll be fine. After napping today, I'll be ready for our last night." "Okay, we'll see you later." Staying ahead of the migraine this time, I take more medication. As I told Anna, I will spend the afternoon napping because nothing is going to stop me from going to dinner tonight or having my last moments with Lee. Other than a few hazy dreams of the journal pages, I slept soundly. Now that I am awake, all I can think about is what I learned last night reading his thoughts. Lee loves me. He truly loves me. All this time he has kept his feelings locked away as tightly as I have my own. But why has he not said anything? Probably for the same reason I haven't. Ours is an impossible situation. But why open up to me now? And what happens now? After showering and dressing, I leave the housekeeping service sign hanging on my door and head to the buffet to have a quick breakfast. I hadn't expected to see Lee there, but I am still disappointed when I don't. Since the library is empty, I sit in one of the corner chairs far away from the windows and rest my head in my hands for a while. When I start feeling too drowsy from the meds, I get up and make my way back to my room, relieved to find it clean. I thank Han, the cabin boy, before closing the door, and he wishes me a good day. Waiting in line outside the dining room doors, I am so nervous I can barely breathe. I don't know what I will say to Lee, but I need to tell him how I feel. Tonight I will. We will make this work somehow. We have to, and I am willing to do whatever it takes. Taking a deep breath, when the line begins to move, I follow Anna and Chad inside. When Lee's eyes finally meet mine, his mask is lowered, and the longing is there for the world to see. I'm glad you are well, Masai. Thank you. He pulls out my chair, allowing his hand to linger on my shoulder a moment after I am seated. Lee's tables fill quickly tonight, and he is running quite a bit, but he always spares a moment to visit and joke with us before moving to another table. Tonight, I watch him as often as I can. After one of his stops to check on us, Anna says, "For some reason, I am really going to miss him this time," and I silently agree. "We will miss him too," Norwood says, refilling our water glasses. "What do you mean?" Chad asks, and I silently echo his question. "He is leaving the cruise line." "Leaving?" I manage to voice above the ball of emotion lodged in my throat. "Yes," Norwood says. "His contract is up, and he won't be returning. When he leaves for vacation tomorrow, he will not be coming back." The choice. This was the choice he wrote about in his journal. It had been vague and I couldn't understand. Now I know. I turn as Lee walks toward our table with a tray of desserts on his shoulder. He places it on the service stand. When he looks at me, tears fill my eyes and his. Throwing all reserve to the wind, I stand and he comes to me, taking my hands in his, and the rest of the room fades away. He is all I see. His eyes move over the dining area a moment before returning to me, and in them I can see that he no longer cares about the rules. Then he releases my hands and his arms are around me. I vaguely hear Anna's light gasp and Chad's exclamation of, "I knew it!" Wrapping my arms around his neck, I press my hand into his hair, touch my forehead to his, and ask, "Why did you not say anything?" I couldn't until I made a choice, and I finally did. His adoring gaze roams over my face. "I choose you. I love you, Masai, and I promise I will always choose you." He kisses me then, and amid the growing applause and cheers of nearby guests, I lose myself in the warmth of his mouth and the haven of his firm embrace, armed with the knowledge that all my hopes and dreams are finally coming true. It is one of the happiest moments of my life. Epilogue. 1 year later, Bountiful, Utah. Standing in front of the family room fireplace with my hand resting on my 7-month round stomach, I study my wedding rings for a long moment before lifting my gaze to our wedding portrait above the mantel. Beneath it sit several other photos of us that we have taken since. We were married in the Bountiful Temple, surrounded by my family and his parents. I smile as I remember him telling me over and over throughout that day how beautiful I was, and he still never lets a day pass without telling me. He will definitely always be the most handsome man in the world to me. We honeymooned in Park City. Lee fell in love with the mountains, and neither of us desired a more exotic destination. We'd both had our fill and wanted to be closer to home. I came to him inexperienced in matters of sexual intimacy, and I found myself grateful for his experience. He was gentle, patient, and tender with me, and sharing the sacred act with him was more wonderful than I ever dreamed it would be. I never imagined feeling such closeness and such wonder and passion. Lee's adjustment to land life was so smooth and fast, it was hard to believe he'd worked on a cruise ship for as long as he had. Because he had saved most of his pay through the years, and I had a nice amount put away from abundant photography work, we were able to sell my condo and pay cash for a brand new starter home without going into debt, and still have a nice cushion in the bank. The furniture from the condo was enough to furnish the whole house, so we saved there as well. Since Lee is fluent in Tagalog, Cantonese, and Spanish, he was able to get a translation job at a staffing service in Salt Lake City, and he is enjoying it immensely. Once a month, we drive down to Provo to see his parents. The Batanes are two of the kindest people I know, and I always feel welcome there. Lee feels the same when we visit my parents or attend family functions. Mine has become a very diverse family, which thrills my parents because of the eclectic mix of grandchildren they will have, and they happily admit that fact. As Lee has learned, there's definitely no shortage of fun in the Grant family. Hearing the garage door opening, my heart begins to flutter. Lee is home. It is Saturday, and he has been at the church playing basketball with the other elders. He may be shorter than half the priest quorum, but he has one heck of a jump shot. He lands more three-pointers than anyone in the group, and they love him, and the young men always want to practice with the old guy. He told me he played a lot of basketball when he was younger, and he is happy for the chance to be active again at it again. My husband is sweaty as he pulls me to him, his gray t-shirt damp, but I don't care. He presses his lips to mine, his lean muscular arms circling my expanded waist. "Did you win?" I ask him, burying my fingers in his hair. "We did." He kisses me again with a hint of passion that makes my temperature rise, renewing in me a longing and need for him that will never fade. "Do you still want to go and buy the extra mulch for the garden?" "Later," he breathes. "So what should we do now?" I ask as his kisses drift to my neck. "Maybe we should take up where we left off this morning," he murmurs huskily against my skin. "Maybe we should." As we head upstairs, Lee's cell phone rings and he checks the ID. It's Chad again, probably calling again about doing another grill off. "Do you want to call him back?" He snorts. "Making love to my wife is a lot more important than food." I laugh. "That's good to know." Long after the passion is spent and we are lying in each other's arms, I whisper against his smiling mouth, "Always better than food."